Today, I will show you how to draft and sew an origami bag. We only need two measurements to make the pattern: the width of the bag and the bag's height. You can sew up the straps, mm6 style, or make a tiny bow like this. One side of the bag is plain. On the other, there is a diagonal seam. I use fashion pleather for the outer fabric and cotton for the inside. The pattern is folded like this. I will show you how to sew and line it. There will be one side that is plain, like this. However, if you want both sides to have a diagonal seam, you can cut the diamond shape out into a two-piece pattern. This bag style is like the 3 squares origami bag. The height of the bag is always half the width. If you like a more rectangle, deeper bag, you can try out this pattern.
We will draft a pattern for a bag with 30 centimeters height, 40 centimeters width. First, draw a right angle. Mark the height with a line. Mark the width, 40 on each side. Mark the width again, this time 20 on each side. You see, these are all 40 centimeters, which is the width of the bag. Connect these 2 points into a straight line. The 2 lines should be the same measurements. Connect to create a rhombus. Trace out the rhombus on another paper.
I will paste it together to make a one-piece pattern. The actual sized pattern will be much bigger. Take your time to make sure everything is lined up. Cut one piece from the pleather and flip the pattern over to cut the lining. Mark where the diamond shape joins the triangle. Place the 2 pieces, right sides together. We will sew from the mark up the corners, traveling to the other side. Snip and trim down the V. Trim off the seams on the corners and also snip open the seams 2 to 3 millimeters from the stitch line. Flip the bag out to the right side. We will stitch the seams onto the lining. I start stitching from the V-point up the handles, as far as the sewing machine can go. This step will help keep the lining from popping out of the bag.
The diagonal seams is sewn in 2 parts. We will sew the outer fabric first. Match the snip on the seams we made earlier, and sew to the bottom of the bag. We will be sewing only on the outer fabric. We will do the same for the lining. Fold the outer fabric's seams away to the left, and sew to the bottom. There should be no gaps at the V-point. Now we sew the bottom of the bag. Flip the bag inside out, and sew the outer fabric first. Trim off the corners. For the lining, we will leave a gap to flip out the bag. I sew the bottom with a 2 centimeter seam allowance. This will shorten the lining and make it less saggy. Check that all the corners are poked out before closing the bottom. I hand stitched this area with an invisible stitch.
Our bag should look like this. Our next step is to create the bag handle. Hand stitch basting stitches to keep the tips folded. Overlap the tips at around 6.5 centimeters. If you like a longer bow, you can increase this length. I will use water dissolvable interfacing to help me sew the pleather. My small home sewing machine will create nests when sewing on the pleather side. We will remove the interfacing with water. It will be a bit sticky. Just give it a wipe clean. Remove the basting stitches. I will use fabric scrap from this project. If your pleather don't have stretch, just cut the strip on the bias. It is much easier to wrap when there is a bit OS stretch. Begin by tying a knot. As you wrap, fold the fabric in half to hide the raw edges. We will secure the ends with a double knot. Hide the end side inside the bow and cut off the excess.
There you go.